Hello and welcome. Welcome to this session tonight on writing. Writing. So you can see the heading here from craft to conversion. It's going to be a brief one. There are just 10 slides here. The aim of this is basically introducing you to the art of writing. Okay, and one thing I want you to know is this is something you've been doing all your life. You've been a writer all your life. You've written notebooks, you've written something in your journal, written posts on social media. So you're already a writer. You've been writing. So the main difference now is putting structure to what you do. Professional writer. Okay. A lot of the time, the profession there is not usually just in the terms of, oh, I've attended a training, I have a certification to show that I can write. No, it's way beyond that. Okay. So let's get on with this. Follow me, and if there's any points that you think is confusing or I need to, you know, let's go to the next one. Right. Basically, um, introduction to writing, as well as the different forms of writing. Okay. And then some extra tips that will make you exceptional writing as you. Okay. So let's go. First off, I'd like to know if you're watching this live, I'd like to know if you can hear this clearly. So I'd love to see your responses in the comments. I can view your comments here, so please do well to drop responses. Um, so yeah, that's it. So we're looking at the foundational concepts and then what writing is about, writing, the different types. So let's go to the next slide. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good to see you. So this is what we have here, and that is the types of writing. My phone has been misbehaving. Okay, so we have the why. Why write? Why write? Why should you write? Why should I write? Why do we write? Okay, so when I say why, I'm referring to the benefits and the uses. Utility. Okay, utility. Why do we write? What purposes? So there's one. Let me see. We write to ideas. Okay. Okay, yes. So we write to share ideas, we write to communicate our thoughts and ideas, we write to persuade. Okay. And then when we come to persuasive writing, we're referring to writing to sell. And selling is not just about selling a product or a service, right? You can sell a message, you can sell an idea, you can sell a concept or a philosophy about life. So you're trying to write to get people to believe in what you believe in, to get people to understand, a perspective and believe that perspective just the way you do. That's persuasive writing. So you're writing to persuade, right? And then we write to sound smarter. Let's be honest. I intentionally put this one here. People who write well and speak well often appear smarter than the rest of the world. There are people that you see their posts online just by the way they write, you assume that they are smart by the way they write, nothing else. Just because they write well, they have everything well organized, the kind of wordings, the kind of what is it called? Lexicons that they make use of, grammatical constructs. You just believe that no, 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 this person knows how to write. Unfortunately, this era, we can't tell good writers anymore because people have become AI, you like copy and pasters. You just go to AI, something, copy it, and then post, right? I'm not saying that is bad, but however it may be, writing makes you sound smarter. If you write well, people automatically think you're a smart person. Likewise, if you speak well. So the next one is to pass examinations. I'm going to skip all the examination stories. I'm going to skip all of that. But then, okay, let me give you a typical example. Let me give you a typical example. Remember in those days in school where you would write examinations, sometimes the exam that you're writing, you don't know what you're writing. There's a particular question that you really don't know what to write. But then instead of you to not write anything, you will write something. You will just cook up something and write, tell stories. At the end of the day, you realize that you've written more than people who actually know the answer. And just maybe you score a few marks, maybe 2 marks for waste of time, you know. And then there are some lecturers who particularly write like people who know how to write. There are ways to answer questions, ways to communicate your thoughts, and then also sometimes how you write, I mean, the handwriting and all of that can earn you extra marks, right? So that's by the way. The ITS exam, which I have written by the way, is a very technical examination, especially the writing part. It's of the one of the most difficult of Nigerians, writing and reading. All the IELTS are usually for Nigerians. Um, but writing, and realize that the principles are basically the same. The principles for writing are basically the same almost everywhere. So if you learn how to write, and you keep writing, it's going to help you a lot. When I was preparing for my IELTS exam, I was scared, you what I was hearing about people who were writing the exam and they were attended a tutorial that I couldn't, you know, I just did 2 days and I ran away. Couldn't continue with them. But then, the things that gave me confidence was the fact that, I, CJ, you've been writing all your life. You've been writing on Facebook. You've been writing a lot of content on LinkedIn. Shouldn't be new. Shouldn't scare you. Okay, so go ahead, go for that examination and excel. And I did a lot of practicing later on. And the fact that I had writing really came in handy, really helped me. Okay, now that's it. That's why we write. There are many reasons, many other reasons. You can put down some of the reasons you write down in the comment section. And in those days, People used to write letters to their loved. These days, you can sit down in your house and just type a few things with WhatsApp and over. Those days, it wasn't like that. People would write letters. Some people even automate their so-called lovers today. You'll be enjoying and smiling. You will know that the message that you're looking at was generated by ChatGPT. But that's it. Still writing anyways. So let's look at the different forms of writing. Key forms. Number one is book. Okay, and we're referring to digital and print books. Can be novels, self-help books, inspirational. You know, can be spiritual, like the Bible is a spiritual book, right? Um, you can write, so a book will be made from what you know, and then people will get that book and read and grow, right? So that's it. And one thing I want you to understand is that for each of these forms of writing, is a monetization model, a unique monetization model for it. Okay, it means that no matter what, as long as you know how to write, you can tap into one of these. If you want to monetize and make money from writing, you can tap into one of these. So we're looking at book writing, we're looking at poetic writing, different types, different forms. Poetic writing, there are people who write poems with rhythm and emotion to captivate their audience. Some people write poems for poets, spoken word poets. If you're a spoken word poet, you must be a spoken word poetic writer. Okay, because you need to script your writings first. I mean, script your speech first before you go and speak it. Okay, and it's in the writing that most of the work is done, not even in, not in the speaking. So we have content marketing, we have sales copywriting. So under content marketing is all about blogs and articles. You have to be able to write with certain keywords in certain ways so that your blog can rank higher in Google searches. Then we have sales copy. This is writing to sell, salesmanship in print. That's copywriting. So you want to write so that people can buy what you are selling. That's where copywriting comes in. And I have a shall great training program. I'll be on copywriting um, for you here, okay, in this training. Now we have social media writing, okay, social media writing. Threads, captions for connection and virality. Usually, when it's time to switch this, that I giving me so much issues. Okay, let's go. Let me know if you can still hear me. So hold on. Okay, sorry for that breaking transmission. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, let me know where you stopped, um where you stopped hearing. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, 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 thank you. What was the last thing that you heard clearly? So I'll start from there. Oh, there's still a glitch. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Who else is experiencing the glitch? It's really horrible. Give me a second. Give me like a few minutes. Okay. You hear me now? Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to do. I'll try what I can, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just head over. It's really terrible. Okay. Whole network situation. I apologize. It's my part. Uh, it's totally from my end. It's been really bad. I changed location. I traveled to another city, so it's been real here. But let's more chance if we can. Then I'll cancel. If we can't, I'll cancel everything. Breaking. It's glitching. Good evening, Light. Light, can you hear me clearly? Is it clear enough, or should I reconsider? If it's clear, good. Otherwise, we'll be moving to WhatsApp. Okay. Can you hear? I can hear you clearly. Okay, Omolola Koe, you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, then we can proceed. Otherwise, let me get one more or two more people validate this. So, guys, I'm outside. Please be talking fast so that mosquito will not bite me. Okay. Let me get one more person. If it is good to go, we can proceed. Good evening, Promise. Good evening. How are you doing? How are you doing? So, yeah. So, what makes a great writer? What makes a great writer? I believe every other thing I said, the other part you understood. I hope you did. But don't worry, I'll share everything. I'll share everything with you. I'll share the training guide from which this document was developed, so you are not missing a thing. I mean, I will ensure that you don't miss a thing. So, um, like I was saying, what makes you what makes you a great writer? Okay, number one is clarity. Number one is clarity. If it confuses, it loses. If you confuse your audience, you will lose them. See, let me tell you one thing that happens. There's something that happens with writing, and it's the fact that you can annoy people through your writing. You can annoy people, you can make people angry through your writing. When people read from you and they don't understand what you're writing, it triggers a certain hormone. It's cortisol, it's stress hormone. So they are reading, they are stressing to understand. They will not be happy with you. They won't be happy with you. Okay? So that's the importance of clarity in your writing. People should be able to understand. And that's where simplicity also comes in. Keeping your writing as simple as possible will help you as a writer to relate better with your audience. So they won't get angry with you. Okay? Now, number two is empathy. Empathy. When you are writing, put yourself in your reader's shoes. Imagine that you are them. Just when you write, before you hit post on anything, before you hit post or send, run to the other side and assume that you are the person consuming that information. The tone of writing this, is it okay? Is it something that if someone writes to me like this, I would like to read? Empathy. Use the reader's eyes. Some people, everything is related. For some people, you write something and you are writing medical jargon. If you're a medical professional here, maybe a radiographer, nurse, medical doctor, physio, you're writing a lot of jargon. Sometimes I write and write and write and write, and I'm like, oh, it's a good time to pause. I don't think my audience will understand. So I have to alter my writing. I have to change some things. I have to humanize. I mean, I have to break down and simplify because I know the audience I'm writing to. Audience knowledge is important. That's where empathy comes in. Now, there is authority. Authority. If you are writing, you need emotion, you need logic, you need proof, you need emphasis, you need references. Now, imagine that you come out 90% of women do this without, okay, in my opinion, but they don't do that. So they just generalize. If you want to be an exceptional writer, you must be able to use references. You want to establish credibility, you must be able to use references, logic, proof, sound reasoning. Okay. Now the next one is what? Editor's mindset. You should have an editor's mindset. You should be a curator and a creator. You should be a director of information. That's why you are creating content. Okay. So write and edit. Write as if you are just playing. Like sometimes people say the experienced writer's block is because you're trying to put the cart before the horse. You're trying to do the last thing first. Sometimes just write. Don't worry, write rubbish. Then when you are done writing the rubbish, you now start editing. Don't write and start. The problem people experience is that they try to write and they start trying to perfect it immediately they are writing. Okay, sometimes just write the rough work first. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now, finding your path and style. So this is what many people call niche. Finding your niche. How do you find your writer's niche? How do you find your speaking niche? How do you find your niche? This, that, that. And I want to assure you that it's not necessarily about finding one thing that you want to do. In fact, I have taught over probably over 30 sessions on clarity. None of my sessions, none that I have taught on clarity, makes emphasis on picking one thing and identifying as one thing. None, zero, nada. Okay, none. So, um, okay, it's even here. You don't have to do only one thing. Just do each thing well. If you are going to put yourself out there, see, there are things I do that I don't mention out publicly. We have not gotten the necessary requirement in terms of expertise and credibility to be able to front that thing. However, I still have many things that I do that are on my bio. Anything you see on my bio, I have come to a point where I can own and defend them. Anything you see me put out there and say, oh, look, guys, I am a this, I am a life coach, I am a this one, I'm a that one. I have owned it. I've met the criteria. I've merited it to. Okay. So now there are three major things here. I've done teachings on clarity. You can always go to YouTube. Just type my name. Let me teach you one thing. If you want to learn anything that you feel like, oh, this is difficult for you, and you think Chijoke has taught on this before, let me teach you one secret. Just go to YouTube, right? Go to YouTube. Type my name and type a topic beside it. Type Chijoke Otipa. Be sure that you are getting the spelling correctly. Chijoke Otipa branding. Chijoke Otipa clarity. Chijoke Otipa uh, 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 networking, Chijoke Otiba public speaking. Just type my name and type that. If you want YouTube to give you a faster, better result recommendation, type Chijoke Otiba Growth Academy, because that is the name of my YouTube channel. And you'll see anything you are looking for. So you can go and listen to plenty videos on clarity. But this one is a simple format, a guideline, and that is passion, market demand, and expertise. So there's a fine line, there's a place where these three meet. Okay, passion, market demand, and expertise. Let's call the passion P, passion. Market demand P, profit slash people slash platform. But let's call it profit. And demand, the demand of the market. Then expertise, let's call it proficiency. So there are three P's here. So what are you good at? What do you love to do? And then what does the market need? How can you blend these things into an atmosphere that you want to write about, into something that you want to write about? And it doesn't mean it has to be one. It can be multitude of ideas, thought patterns, philosophies. I write about marriage. I write about family. I write about, the girl child. I write about women. I write about health. I write about all sorts of things. Okay. And nobody has ever come to me to say, your own is too much. Don't stop writing about all these things. Just focus on one. Nobody has done that. In fact, someone who told me one time that I should pick a niche, that if I don't pick a niche, I'll end up confusing my audience. I said, well, we have a different experience, and none of my audience members have come to tell me that I'm confusing them. She was like, no, if you want to do branding, do branding. If you want to do e-learning, do e-learning. Which one is e-learning today, branding tomorrow, public speaking the other day? Don't do that. I say, no problems. She left. We ended the discussion. About a year later, it wasn't up to a year, this same person was the one who invited me to come and speak at her own event. Guess the topic I was meant to speak on? Clarity. And when I came to skills, and by the time I finished speaking, she took the floor and she was like, wow, wow, multi-talented. Oh, I found out she's someone who is multi-talented, but was trying so hard to fit into the mold that society has created for multi-talented people, trying to box you in into a shell, a mold. Hmm? So now the next one, define your voice. Define your voice. Pick three words that describe your writing. So I'm going to ask you to do this now. If you have a book, a paper, and a pen, you can do that. Otherwise, you can put it in the comment section. So when you think about yourself writing, when you see yourself writing, what three words will you use to represent yourself? Let me tell you one thing. Um, it doesn't even have to be nice per se. I know myself. I'm a very stubborn person in a good way, though. In a good way, I'm a very stubborn person, obstinate, self-willed or strong-willed. You know, I am a rebel. I'm a rebel, oh, and I'm not afraid to say, I'm not even ashamed to say that I'm a rebel. I'm a positive rebel, a good one. It means that we can be in a room filled with 20 people, and the 20 people are saying that this thing is right. Hmm? This is right. I am not going to say that no, this is left because they said it's right and I just want to disagree. No, I'm the one who is going to ask question. Can we justify why this is right? Can we justify what if this is left? Can I go and find out, since there's nothing really bad about it? Let me go and find out if this is left or right from this angle. You people can follow this way, no problem. I'll come and meet you there. And oftentimes, interestingly, I end up being right. A lot of times, I love to create my own rules. So if I'm to define myself, my own writing voice, I'm going to say parent. Huh? Then maybe wise and sparky, sparky, fun, okay, fun, sparky, fighter, violent, just right, okay. So this is, see what's here, witty, warm, wise. I am witty and wise and warrior. I am not warm. I know I can be warm when I want to be, but there's something in me always boiling that's looking for trouble. Anywhere I see trouble, that's where you will find me. I want to debunk and debase and destroy myths, destroy biases, destroy stereotypes. That's where you find me. Okay? So, what's your own writing voice? Figure it out. Okay? Oh, someone said, well, I was speaking about my IELTS experience. Oh my goodness, that was a long way, but no problems. Would You'll get all the materials. So again, if I know, if I know this will happen, we'll just use WhatsApp. Okay, we'll use our WhatsApp group for whatever the case may be. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So now, now let's get to, oh my goodness, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, so don't worry. That's not That's not a problem. It's going to come back up shortly. Okay, so let's go, go, go. Okay, so the next one, next, yeah, personal brand. Make your style instantly recognizable. See, there should be something about you that when people come to read from you, they know it's you. When people read from you, they know it's you. Communicate your voice through your writing, and that's why I don't totally encourage using artificial intelligence. Just write and copy and paste. No, I don't encourage that. There should be an element of your brand voice in everything coming out from you, even if it has passed through AI or AI passed through it. There should be an element of your brand voice. Okay, there should be an element of your brand voice. So, personal brand. Now let's go to the next one. So, the how. Okay, how how do you improve your writing? How do you improve your writing? So there are basic tips here. Number one is to read actively. Number two is to write daily. Number three is to structure your writing. Learn the frameworks of writing for anything you want to write. Don't worry, when we get to content and copywriting, I'm going to do justice to this structure thing. Okay, but basically, if you are writing, there should be a hook, an introduction, or a headline that will get people to read what you want to what you want to write. Your first line is usually very important, especially in this day and age where attention span is consistently on the massive decline. People are heavily distracted. You are competing for attention with people who have very short attention span. Your content is going to be competing with some of the most distracting contents in the world. What will make somebody leave that Sabino's video and read your content that is long like Mississippi? Why should they read it? So it begins from your catchphrase, the first line of your content. The first line, even if you are posting a video online, the first line of your caption matters more than every other thing. The first line, that's what people are going to see. Why scrolling? They just scroll past. That first line matters. Okay, so write daily. Try as much as possible to write every day. Use everything that you can. Use social media. Use everything that you can lay your hands on and write on paper, write on books, whatever. Write. That's the only way you can develop writing. I used to tell people, if it's about speaking, the only way you can develop your speaking skills is by speaking. That's the only way. You cannot improve your speaking skills if you don't speak. You can't improve your writing skills if you don't write. The only way you can get better as a writer is by writing. Okay, so write every day. Even if you can't write every day, as much as you can, write. Use your social media to practice. Write. Just be writing. Just be writing. Thoughts come to you, put it down, write. Put a picture to it, post on Facebook, copy it, post on Instagram, copy, post on LinkedIn. Just write. People will give you feedback. Oh, I like this. Oh, thank you very much. That's you becoming better. Okay, now read. Through reading, see, let me tell you one thing. Two major ways you can improve your public speaking skills. Hmm? By speaking first. By speaking first. Why? It will help you overcome the fear. It will help you adapt to speaking on its own as a skill. Then two, by listening. Why? Because you now understand how other people frame their speech, how other people think. Okay? Then three is what? Reading. 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 Okay? Why? You're now learning new grammatical constructs, new vocabulary, and all of that. When it comes to writing, 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 number one way to improve your writing is by writing. Number two is by reading. By reading, you will also improve your vocabulary. You will improve your use of grammar. You will improve a lot of things. Okay? Then again, secondarily, writing. Sorry, not writing, listening, listening, listening. Okay? Listening. But that one is secondary. It's not really compulsory. Okay? And well, that good? Are you with me? So there's an action step here. There's an action step. Write it down. Like I was saying, I said I could pick up feminism as a concept and I just write we should all be feminists. Okay? Or what Nigerian feminists think, or feminism versus misandry, that kind of thing. And these are things that would definitely attract attention. Okay? Now, the next one. Let's go to the next one. So this is, yeah, overcoming writer's block. How can you overcome writer's block? So some people will come and say, oh, I don't know what to write. Whenever I open my book and I try to write, nothing, no idea comes in. Whenever I open Facebook and I try to write, nothing comes in. So here are tips to help you to banish that feeling, banish what's it called? Writer's block forever. Okay? So number one, outline fix. Outline. Create an outline. Okay? Don't start with a blank page. So if I want to write about living in Nigeria, for example, I don't even need to overthink. I can identify um let's say 5 different things, and then I'll fill it up later. So what would be the 5 different things? Number one, being okay, the introduction. Say living in Nigeria for most of my life has taught me a lot of things. In fact, all my life I've lived in Nigeria and I've learned so many things. So much that subconsciously I leave out certain things just because of the traumas that I've witnessed here, right? And then there are some good sides and bad sides and all of that, but these are the basic ones that I would like to share. Number one, whenever there's power supply, I find myself shouting up NEPA, or my mood is still totally dependent on whether or not there's electrical power supply. Okay, then what next? Uh, Cost of living is high. Oh, in my father's days, they were able to buy cars with their first salary. And look at me struggling to just, you know, buy three kegs of oil with my own first salary, that kind of thing. So you are bringing out issues. Now, you just at the initial stage, you just have to outline. So I can write electricity, I can write education, I can write marriage, right? Electricity, education, marriage, and what else? Food, okay? Cost of food, rent, I'll write rent, so that the ideas don't fly over your head. Sometimes ideas will just come, they don't perch, they just come, they fly over. So you need to be able to catch them and hold them there, keep them down. Okay. So so now, I write cost of food, cost of rent, marriage, and all of that. Oh, in those days, people were able to get married on a budget. You know, they just finish from school, and with the money that the government is paying them, they are able to settle their wedding and get a house and all of that. But today, you literally have to work for maybe 5 6 years for you to be able to save enough money to afford to marry. you know so now I'm already developing the content just from the skeleton. Create that rigid skeleton, and let me tell you this: even if AI is writing your content for you, there is need for you to do the basic work of originality to supply the backbone of that text. Supply the backbone. Okay. Now look at this whole presentation that we're doing now. This whole presentation, the slides were developed with an AI tool. I didn't do the slide, but everything you are seeing in this slide was developed by me. I gave it the backbone. I gave it the backbone. It now went to do the designs. Okay. There's another one I have. Their designs I've done, their slides I've done, that from beginning till the end, I did not do anything. I didn't put anything. AI did the slide from beginning to the end. So I'll now go back to that slide, and I am adding my own originality. There are things they will say in the slide that is not amenable to Nigerians. That is not something Nigerians will vibe with. I'll go there and remove it and put the Nigerian own. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. Okay. So you are giving the outline, you are creating the skeleton, the backbone. Now, number two, the shitty first draft. Write badly, polish later. No wahala. Write it badly. Let it be nonsense on paper. You can edit later, you can polish it later. Okay, just create that post, write it as it is in your head, then you gradually piece it together. Okay, now what's the idea backlog about? Keep a running list of ideas to switch between, and remember, ideas are everywhere, especially if you're Nigerian. This is very powerful. See, you can never run out of ideas. See, if you as a Nigerian tell me that you don't have an idea, you don't have ideas to write about, you don't, that you're experiencing writer's block, I will almost not believe you. Sorry. You know why? This country is filled with ideas. This country is filled with content, and it is related to everything you are doing in life. You say you don't want to write. There's no way you cannot want to write. Just within 1 week, a wife killed a husband. Abi, that's what they said. That a woman burnt her husband, or the husband set himself on fire, and the woman was in his presence. I don't know. Then the same week, the next day or 2 days after, a husband killed the wife. There's no way you will not see what to write. There's no way. Next thing, one person will just open mouth on Facebook and start talking. If it's not Sadaboj that is talking, it's Gege University of Wisdom. There's no way you will not get inspiration of what to write in this country. There's no way. Let me tell you the interesting thing. A lot of people who have lived here, when they travel abroad, they get depressed. You know why? You go to a place where it, things are not really happening. Like things are not happening. There's no gist. That's why Nigerians are number one in comedy, number one in comedy, number one in music, number one in entertainment in many places, in many parts of Africa. I mean, in Africa, Nigeria is number one in entertainment. So that I'm sure. In comedy, I think Nigeria is number one in the whole world. Nigerian comedians are hot cake. Every day is comedy. Every day is comedy. Every day is comedy. You come out of your house, two people are already fighting. In the morning, early in the morning, two people are already fighting. Somebody is driving a car, somebody is driving keke. Keke is blocking the car and telling the car, do you know who I am? Things are happening in this country. You just work is not for yourself a favor. Just be carrying one small notebook. When those things happen, as you are laughing, just write it down. Just write down because you still judge, you still write content. This thing I just said now, keke blocking car. You'll be on a taxi, very fine uh, 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 Honda Concerto. You know, keke will block you on that taxi. That boat ride, keke will block you. Nonsense. The driver will now pass the keke will bring hand, waka. Look at the nonsense car you are even driving. Keke Mawa. Keke is the person telling clean Honda Concerto. Look at the nonsense car you are driving. I was in one keke one day. This keke had the mouth, the guts, the audacity to call a jeep wheelbarrow. Somebody's jeep, oh, I don't know what they were dragging on the road. He nearly hit him. See, look at you, foolish man. Look at the wheelbarrow you are driving. I'm like, this thing doesn't make sense. He was serious. This thing doesn't just make sense. But that's content. There's no way you can lack ideas. Impossible. Impossible. In fact, if anything, you should be saving yourself from ideas. You are over ideated. They are over. They are busting everywhere. Okay. So let's go to the next one. As a Nigerian, you've got a lot of content to create. You have a lot of ideas around you. Okay, advanced writing hacks, part one. Number one, KISS, KISS. Keep it short and simple, please. Try as much as possible. See, if you are starting out with content creation, there's a level you will get to. People will now be able to endure your long form content. I've gotten to that level. If you know people like Nonso Onyejemezi, go and follow him on social media. Go and follow him on Facebook. Nonso Onyejemezi will write without putting picture. He will just write text. Next thing you are seeing 280 likes, 500 likes on one post that he just wrote, and it's very long. So he has intentionally trained his audience to read that kind of content. But I didn't start from there. I started with short form content. Okay, you need to buy the trust of your audience first so that they can believe that what you are even posting is worth investing their 2 seconds into. Okay, so most of your content, most of them, if you are starting out, should be short and simple. Short and simple, brief, concise. Now imagine that I'm doing this session and the slide that you are seeing is not PowerPoint but Power Notes. Everywhere is notes, everywhere is notes. Look at how simple this one looks. Just see how brief, simple, bullet point, bullet point. If you are doing slides, remember that you are doing bullet points, not bullet notes. You are doing PowerPoint, not Power Notes. Some people is Power Magazine that they do it with their slides. Power Punch, Power Book. That's what they do. So now you need to understand that. Keep it short and simple. It makes it easier for people to relate to what you're writing. White space strategy. Oh my goodness. This one is one of the most powerful tips when it comes to writing. One of the most powerful. Not kidding. One of the most powerful. Why? You know, a lot of the time when people write, they write in blocks. They write in blocks. You just see clusters of text. That is also very frustrating. When you write with clusters and you don't space out your text, if you follow me on social media, go and check me out. Go and check everything I've posted for the last 1 year. You will not see where I will just post maybe 4 different sentences in one paragraph. You will notice that I break things down. I space it out, space. 3 sentences, space. 2 sentences, space. 3 sentences or 4 sentences, then double space. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I even put lines in between to demarcate those things. Now, the brain has a way to interpret information. The brain needs breathing space. It needs to breathe. If you just write cluster text, that's why a lot of us didn't like reading textbooks while we were in school. There are many of you here. If you see a textbook, the way the textbook is just cluster, you close the textbook and then look for your friend that has summarized that chapter. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you, all of you that read summary to pass. Yes. Show yourself. Report yourself. Okay. You read the summary because the summary had a breathing space for your brain. It felt like bullets. It felt like punches. You could see spaces in between. That should be what you should do to your writing. Apply that to your writing. If you cluster everything, people get scared and they will run away. They won't read. They won't read. Trust me. It makes people angry. When the brain is struggling, you read the first line, you don't even know whether you've passed that first line. You read it again, you don't understand it. It happened to me today. If not for home training and God, if not for God, I would have insulted that guy. You know, the thing is hot gist, though, is a church gist. But I did not understand anything from the 1, 2, 3, almost like 7. There was no paragraph text, in short. I was struggling and sweating to understand. So I left it. I left it. I just posted on the comments. I don't understand, but either ways, this is happening in this country. You know, so please use white balls. I'll send examples. You can go online and look at text, cluster text versus white spacing. Just go and check, look at them and see what your brain does. Someone remind me. I'm going to do this in the group tonight or tomorrow. If you're watching this as a replay, just go and do it by yourself. Go and check out stuff online, type cluster text, white spaces, and then see the difference. Okay. Power words trigger emotions and action. So you see examples of power words that you can use in your text: transform, unstoppable, proven. If you are selling, you also need to understand the magic that these power words do to your writing. However, don't be over intoxicated looking for power words. Sometimes the most powerful words are the ones written with so much simplicity and clarity. Okay? And trust. Because let me tell you one thing. Let me give you a secret. Successful. Everything you do becomes rule of law. Elon Musk is a public speaker. Elon Musk is a public speaker. He speaks. People listen. Does he speak well? That's your business. It will not come out from my mouth. It won't come out from my mouth. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But I know that I would rather listen to myself speak than listen to Elon Musk speak. I don't find him interesting at all. But who cares? Dude is a billionaire. He's the richest man in the world. Who cares? So if you are successful, what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're writing about becomes authority. Okay? Everything you are saying becomes power words. So your target should be to convince your audience that you are doing well. Not just that you are doing well for yourself, but you are doing well for them. That you have their best interest at heart, that you can give them value that will change their lives. And when it gets to that point, everything you write becomes powerful. Some people, that's the way they see me. You know, I'm not even kidding. Some people, anything I post on Facebook to them is like rule of law. It's like the authority. It's like the standard. Because Chijioke Otiba has set himself aside, apart, by consistently creating valuable content. Then the next one is readability check. Simplify your content so that anybody can grasp your message. Similar to the KISS principle. Simplify your content. Make it easy. Make it easy. After writing, read it and ask yourself, will people easily understand this? If they won't, please review. Okay? So, advanced what? Hacks, writing hacks, emotion and logic. Persuasion is a combination of the two. In fact, there's a third component called ethics. Okay? You have to write to appeal to emotion. And emotions are deep, seated in human logic, in human thinking, or in human reasoning, in human behavior, in human thought. Emotions. Emotion of greed, emotion of pride, emotion of love, emotion of lust, emotion of whatever. There are different kinds of emotion that you can easily evoke. Revenge, anger, bitterness, envy, pride. This is why the movements thrive. This is why masculinity, toxic masculinity, and radical feminism thrive, because they can write to dig into the emotion of hurt people and then recruit those hurt people to start hurting other people. Okay? Men are scum. Men are this. Women are that. They are appealing to your emotion. All men are heartbreakers. They are appealing to your emotion because they know that you've been heartbroken by men. All women are gold diggers. They are appealing to your emotions because they know that you've met many, many, many Almajiri grown-ups. Now immediately you said hi. You said their gas has finished. They know you are angry, you are infuriated. So they want to tap into that. And before you know what's happening, you start communicating like them. You start generalizing like them because of emotion. Right? But then that's not a smart way to write. It's not bad entirely. You can use it to get people to follow you, to do what you want them to do, and all of that. But then it's not the smartest way. There's another one, and that is logic. Logic is where you start using statistics, percentages, references, authority figures, logic. You see this thing they say, oh, women are logical, women are emotional and logical. That's, but I understand that generalization. I understand it. However, there has to be a combination of both. If you are writing just to evoke emotion, you are a manipulator. If you are writing just to use logic to prove a point, you're a lecturer. You are boring and dry. Okay. If you are writing to use logic, motion, and all of that, but you are not being sincere, and moral in your conduct, you are a criminal. Hmm. Like I was saying, we have mentioned manipulator, but let me just say psychopath too. Okay, I don't know if you heard that part. Psychopath. A psychopath knows how to use logic and emotion, but eliminates ethics. Okay, so he can come and tell you in 1994, 399,500 men or 399,800 women were killed by their husbands, were done this by this one. He's using the accurate facts and appealing to logic and emotion at the same time. However, what is the intention behind that writing? What's the intention behind the action? You find out that it's actually bitterness inside. That's why you see some people, they come out and make intelligent arguments, very intelligent arguments for feminism. Then at the end of the whole thing, they're now telling you men should not be given a chance at life. Somebody that has started well, made very interesting comments and giving you facts and figures to show that they've sat down to study. But at the end of the day, you are not engaging the person in a conversation, telling you that if she has a chance to wave a magic wand and kill all the men in the world, she will do it. I'm like, how? That's a psychopath. Okay, so that's not your target. You have to write to captivate the heart, to captivate the mind, captivate the brain and the soul. Okay, not just for your audience, but for yourself. So if you want to appeal to logic, use data, use statistics. Don't be that person. Don't ever come and say 90% of men. Where? How? 90% of people. Where? 90% of this. Where? 82%. How did you get the detail? Where is the fact? When you say most people, that's the same thing. So I would rather you use many people or some people, many men or some men, instead of saying most men or most people. Because whenever you use the word most, you have to accompany that with data, because you have favored one part over another. If I say many, do you know that out of 10 men in a room, 4 is many, 5 is many, 3 is even many? It's relative. So you are safe, relatively safe. If I say some men, 9 is some men out of 10, 8 is some men out of 10, 10 is even some men still. I'm safe. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Um, Now this is a formula here for writing to appeal to emotion and logic. Hook them with a story, convince them with data, lead them to act. Okay, hook them with a story. Now, if I want to write about women's health, for example, I can start with a certain woman walked into the clinic on Thursday. And as you are writing, you are putting real facts, real names of real people. Please don't reveal the name of your client, the name that should be, what is it called? If you get withheld, or name is fictional, not the real name in brackets for anonymity sake. Now, don't worry, this is the penultimate slide. After this, we have just one slide to go and then we're done. Now, This patient walked into my clinic on Thursday. You see, Thursday is a real day of the week. You are giving that aura that this story is real, part of the emotion that you're trying to, awaken. And she was really sad. She came because she was experiencing pain in her lower back, and it's it's been so much of an issue for her over the past couple of months. She has been to multiple doctors, from one appointment to another appointment, and they seem not to understand what was wrong with her. But while I sat with her and talked, just by taking her history, I discovered that there was a pelvic involvement. There was something going on that they've not been able to figure out why. And my physical examination, having a grade 2 uterine prolapse. Don't worry about all of these things. I know where I'm going. And pathologist for another round of review before coming back to me. And then, I discharged her. She was so happy to eventually know that there's a solution for her problem. Men go through in Nigeria. So I've gone from normal logic. This is what many women go through in Nigeria. Statistically, 70 to 80 come down with pelvic after their first pregnancy and delivery. However, out of that 70%, only about 20% eventually seek, and majority do not get the right kind of help that they need. According to data gathered by American or Nigerian Gynecology Association, 2012. You see, now I'm bringing out details. If you don't put these details, you must be ready to defend them when the time comes, because this is the kind of writing you'll be doing in this heat of the moment, in the excitement of the moment. You wouldn't want to, present all of the facts. You wouldn't want to start going here and there, right? But you should have it in mind that somebody will ask you. Everything you are posting, you should be able to defend them. Somebody will come and ask you, 80%, where did you get the facts? Instead of getting angry, go and show workings. I do that to people a lot too, especially those who call themselves medical practitioners. All of these modern herbalists, say naturalists, whatever, natural healer, natural whatever. Say this drug, this, so switch. I say, where is the research? Can you point me to the study? Be prepared for it and know that people will definitely ask. People would definitely ask you for evidence. Okay? So now, welcome. Thank you, Rhoda. Okay? So now, let's go to the next one. And that, so the next is leveraging artificial intelligence. I've already talked about this. Okay? But let me give you the tip. Artificial intelligence should not take over your brain. You are becoming a curator of learning experiences for your. You are not a zombie. It shouldn't take over your brain. There should be a touch of human experience, human excellence in whatever you're writing. Don't just go to AI. I need a content about write a content for me about public speaking so that I can post. Copy the thing on your Facebook. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Rephrase, edit, simplify. That's the use of artificial intelligence. It's not your ghostwriter per se. Okay? You have to also intentionally train your AI tools. There's ChatGPT, there's all of these tools. You have to sit down and train them to write like you. So all of the posts that you've been making since 2020, 2021, go and dig them out. Those posts that show that you have sense, those posts that are deep, that you just go back on social media, scroll, go and dig out some of those posts. Consistently carry the post. Go to AI, create a project. I'll teach you how to create a project in this program. Okay? Create a project under the AI tool that you are using and train that AI tool under that project, or train your tool generally. I've done that for my ChatGPT. I didn't even know I was training the ChatGPT until I learned it from an advanced AI course. What do I mean? When you consistently feed AI with your own written content, it will start thinking how you think. It will start learning how you think, how you speak, how you sound, how you write. So go and carry your writing, be dropping things like ChatGPT. Edit this for me. This is my writing. I want you to remember this. Remember this post. Study this post and all of that. Please, aura, when I write, take note of this. It will record. Oh, I have captured. I have, put this to my memory. Going forward, I'll use this as a template, all of those things. Any post that you see that goes viral online, any written post that goes viral, go and copy it. Go to ChatGPT, put it there. Why did this post go viral? Study, analyze, and break down this post. It went viral, got millions of views. How did it happen? Why? It's not start telling you, oh, look at the headline. Started like this. Look at the structure. There's paragraphs, white, and all of that. Look at the hashtag. It did not flood everywhere with hashtag. The content is relatable. You see, makes sense. That's it. And this happens to be the last slide. So thank you very much. I wouldn't want to keep you here. So like I was saying, go on social media and talk about your experience in tonight's class and tag me. Then secondly, go to the group chat and engage. Okay? Go to the group chat, tell us your experience, and then ask any questions about the session tonight. Ask me any question there, and I'll be available to answer. Okay? Thank you and good night, everybody. Have an amazing night rest. Bye. Yeah, I hope you got value from this. Thank you for joining in. we are done. We're done, Rhoda. We're done. Um, to everyone else, let's meet in our group chat. Okay, we're done. So you can yeah. So in coming days, I'll be teaching you more about writing, content writing, copywriting, AI, AI assisted writing, a lot of all that stuff, how to generate a lot of things with AI and train your AI to think and speak and write like you. Okay. And how to use AI to do slides, do instructional materials, a whole lot of things, a whole lot of things. So um just get ready for it. Okay? Get ready for it.